right. So our next question is from Sarah. She said, I loved everything you shared in your IG post regarding timing heavy lifts around the cessation of your bleed up to ovulation.
Oh, it's
I'd
right
love it.
now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love a deep dive into the specifics of your exercise regimen. Exercise reps sets. Would
Mhm.
love to learn your favorite posture moves to strengthen lower back and wonder if you do anything other than dance for cardio. Perhaps you're lifting so heavy and without rest that it works as cardio as well. Big hugs and kisses for all you are and all you do.
Oh, I received that. Thank you so much. Yeah, so just kind of building on what we were just saying, right now, my goal around my weight training is hypertrophy. So right now I am wanting to build my glutes. So particularly I'm wanting to build out and round out the glutes, and I'm also wanting to build and round out my shoulders. So they're already, I already got a lot of cushioning in the glute area, but really wanting to build out and round them out. So I am doing probably this week. I'll get to 12 sets. And I do I'll kind of give you the exercises that I'm doing so that you can have she wanted the exercises, right? Is that what she wanted?
Yep,
Yeah.
everything.
So I start off with, and I kind of alternate between upper body, lower body. So I'll do a single deadlift, right, on both sides. Um, and I will do so this week. This is and I'll actually, before I even tell you like all the exercises, I do all these exercises. I'm doing all these exercises through the month, but what is changing is the amount of sets and the amount of repetition. So right now I'm in that testosterone peak week. So I am lifting as heavy as I possibly can in these exercises for 5 to 7 repetitions. That's what I'm doing this week in particular.
Mhm.
So single deadlift. So I'm using really, really heavy kettlebells for that. And I'm standing on a step so I can actually reach a little bit further beyond the ground with the single deadlifts. From there, I move on to shoulders. So I'm doing an overhead press. I usually need Gio to spot me on these because I'm using pretty heavy weights. So an overhead press with 2 kettlebells in each hand. You can also do this with dumbbells. I just really love kettlebells. And the second part of that shoulder exercise is I'm nursing a little bit of an injury right now on my right shoulder. So I don't really have a name for this, but I'll just describe it as best I can. So I'm holding 2 weights. They're right at my trunk. My elbows are bent at 90 degrees. And then I'm going to abduct, so abduct my elbows and shoulders up to 90 degrees. And then when they're there, I'm going to externally rotate my shoulders. So if you're watching this on the video, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But I'm going to basically lift so that my arms are up and down and in line with my head. And what I'm doing there is I'm actually working the common tendon, my infraspinatus and teres, because my common tendon is a little injured on the right side right now. So up, and then I bring it back down. So that's a really it's a common rehab exercise to work on the rotator cuff, because I have a little bit of a wonky rotator cuff. 16 years in practice will do that, as well as as much as I talk about the coronal plane and sometimes my shoulders have a different story. Like I'm very strong in my front delts and my medial delts. Posterior delts a little weak, and then my rotator cuff is a little weak on the right side. So I do that. Then I will do bent over rows. So either with a barbell, so both hands at the same time, or I'll do a one, like with a kettlebell, just kind of bent over a bench. And then I do, so that's really for my back, and really, really important. I'll probably do a solo podcast on the importance of like working the extensors twice as often as you work your flexors, because we are all sitting far too much. So I'm trying to also work on my posture there. There's this move that I've sort of created. I don't even know what to call it, but it's my favorite move in all of the land. It is kind of a 3-parter. So it's like the whole thing is 1 rep. So I will hold a dumbbell on one, like this is for my glutes. So I step back into a lunge, and then I will so however far back I've stepped, I will bring it like halfway in. So then I'll do my lunge, I'll stand up, and then I'll bring the leg in Again, I'll do another lunge, and then I'll stand up again, and then I'll cross that leg. So I'll adduct or cross it behind my front leg into a curtsy lunge. And holy Hannah, like that's one. And then you come back to standing. That's one rep.
Wow.
It is so good for your butt. I can't even tell you. Like it is so, so, so good. And I'm also starting to notice like my TFL, like my tensor fascia lata, I'm starting to notice that kind of bulking up as well, because you are moving, not only are you getting glute max and minimus and medius, but you're also crossing behind. So you're shaping and rounding out. It's just like my favorite thing ever. Then I do some reverse delt work, again, like working on building out my posterior deltoid musculature, and then sumo squats, which are my favorite squats. I usually do those banded with a really heavy kettlebell. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. This week, like I said, I'll do 5 to 7 sets of those. So like heavy ass weights, like super heavy weights, need a spotter. Next week, I'm going to do the same exercises, except I'm going to lighten the weight and I'm going to increase the reps. So next week, after I ovulate, I will be reducing that to like 8 to 10 reps. So still medium, like still, relatively heavy weights, but it's kind of what I would call medium. And then what I like to do in my 4th week, so like leading up to my period, is same exercises, but now I'm doing like 20 reps. So like lighter weights, right?
Right.
Still getting the 10 sets of everything in per week, but like 15 to 20 reps for everything. So you're really just working on shaping the muscle there. That's what I love. That's kind of my like my weight training regimen. The cardio is in the circuit. It's already built into it.
Mhm.
The days I will say that I dance a lot. So those are, I have a bike, like an indoor bike, because the bugs are outside. So
Yeah.
I've taken my outdoor bike and I've made it into, an indoor bike, working on it. But I will do that sometimes, or, on my rest day. Cause I don't do that I don't do that workout every single day. So obviously if I do it on a Monday, on a Tuesday, I'm going to do like a bike or I'll dance.
Mhm.
But I'm also really big. I also just want to say, if I can, I'm also a really big fan of trying to, like, as my air quotes cardio, trying to find other vehicles or other mediums for just getting in like low level activity all day long.
Right.
Right. One of my mentors, who, Dr. Michael Hall,
Right.
I remember once he came to the clinic and was like, we have been duped by, all these pedometer, all these things you wear on your wrist and on your, where it gives you a pat on the back for getting up to 10,000 uh, steps. And if you think about our ancestors, our female ancestors, our foremothers, they were maybe harvesting the land, they were picking things, they were tending to their children, they were cooking, they were, all the things. They were getting low level activity all day long. So it's very likely that they were getting in somewhere between, 20 to 25,000 steps easily every day. So I am very conscious of trying to honor the, I mean, as much as we like to think we are, so modern and so advanced, our biology doesn't change as quickly as the times do, right? So that general movement. So I like to go for walks with my kids, or bike rides, or, I always joke, like, cleaning your house like your
Oh,
mother-in-law is coming over.
yeah.
That is how you are going to burn calories, ladies. Like,
Yeah.
I do not clean
Sunday
my house.
mornings, I'm like, how do I have 5,000 steps already?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I'm like, just from cleaning my place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I love that also as like air quotes cardio. That's what we would call, for all the clinicians, or all my nerd army, that's called NEAT. So NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's actually how you burn more calories, is like going up and downstairs with the laundry and, cleaning the floors like you mean it, like that's kind of
Mhm.
and there's just like, for me anyway, there's just nothing like coming downstairs in the morning and my kitchen is clean. Like there's nothing like it. It's so great.